Good evening, fans. Hope you're doing well. I'm Chicago Danny Ass, and welcome to tonight's edition of RWL Championship Wrestling. Joining me in the booth, Hangman Tex Lynch, the general manager of RWL Snarl. Tex, tell them about tonight's card. Terrific lineup tonight, Danny. We got the Blade Runner, Sting, and the Ultimate Warrior in action. We're going to see the new guy, Ari Aleksandros, the Greek Hustler. We got a great ladies match involving Pam Parsons and Colonel Ninotchka of the Red Star Confederation. Oh, it is just a dynamite lineup start to finish, Danny. Right you are, Tex. Let's get this party started right out of the gate with Ty Schmidt of the Toxic Table with AJ Hawk in his corner, set to face the new guy, like you said, Ari Aleksandros.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first match, one fall with a 10-minute time limit. First, along with AJ Hawk, representing the Toxic Table from parts unknown, weight also unknown, Ty Schmidt.
Well, here's that third member of the Toxic Table that we hardly ever see and hardly ever hear about, Ty Schmidt, accompanied by AJ Hawk, otherwise known as Timu Sammartino. And well, the last time we seen him was in a six-man tag match, and we haven't seen him since. He's rarer to spot than Bigfoot. You ain't kidding, but hey, can't have AJ Hawk and Boston Connor hogging up all the glory. So it should be an interesting matchup. Ty Schmidt, who we hardly ever see, and the new guy, Ari Aleksandros, who beat Karrion Kross in his debut match at Rage, and I still can't believe that. Yeah, Tex, you know, for me it was a narrow win. It was a quick match. I didn't really get to see too much of Aleksandros. I would really like to see him compete in a nice, lengthy match. Maybe we'll get one here with Ty Schmidt. Myron Schimmelman's favorite pigeons, the Toxic Table. Swear they are God's gift of pro wrestling, and well, we're just going to have to see how things shake out tonight against the Greek Hustler.
And from Parnassus, Greece, weighing 262 pounds, the Greek Hustler, Aristotle, Ari Aleksandros.
You know, Tex, there's no better way to make a good impression than by winning your debut match, even if it was a narrow thing. Ari Aleksandros picking up a win over Karrion Kross, who we're going to see later tonight, by the way. Well, that's pretty impressive feat. Well, according to the interview he had with Don Hickson, he came here from Greece very recently, wanted to compete only in RWL, so they sent him to the training facility, the Shamrock Slam Academy up in North Boston, and well, he's all ready to go tonight against Ty Schmidt. Let's see how he does. Like I said, maybe we'll get a real good look at this guy. I'll tell you what, I like his music, though. Ari Aleksandros looks like he sure knows how to have a good time. Still on the fence as to which show he wants to be on regularly, whether it's going to be Snarl or Rage. But hey, he's already wearing Snarl blue, and I guess I wouldn't mind having him on our side. Yeah, well, he's still new, and it's only his second match. He has still yet to meet like the cream of the crop and the scum at the bottom of the barrel. And once that happens, we're going to find out what Ari Aleksandros is made from. Is he cut out to be RWL material? Well, we're going to find out. And this second match is going to be a step towards that. All right, Danny boy, let's see what we got going on here as Ty Schmidt is ready to lock it up with the Greek Hustler, Ari Aleksandros. Referee Tom Canamora rings the bell, and here we go. They lock it up. Ari with a suplex and a pin right out of the gate. Look at this right here, but Ty Schmidt powering out. Aleksandros rounds him up, gets a good hold on him. Look at this, crop that suplex to Ty Schmidt. AJ Hawk looking a little bit worried. Ari winds him up, gets him down onto the mat, stomps the shoulder. Oh, man. He's on a roll already. The Greek Hustler rebounds off the ropes, rolling elbow across the chest of Ty Schmidt. Oh, man, look at this. Whoa, look at this. A headstand headlock. He is definitely an athletic one for sure. Aleksandros rounds up Ty Schmidt, gets a good hold on him, and oh, look at this nice fisherman suplex. He definitely knows his stuff. Aleksandros getting ready to fly, and whoa, man, right across the chest of Ty Schmidt with that diving elbow, 10 feet up and 10 feet down. Aleksandros rolls Schmidt back inside the ring. He's going to go there again. Look at this here. A second elbow, this time across the back. Ari rolls him over, covers and hooks the leg. 1, 2. Oh, man, a near fall so early. Tell you, I'm starting to get impressed with this guy. I really want him on Snarl. Seriously. A hard right. Schmidt puts on the brakes. Catches a kick to the midsection. Catches a shot. Counters with a kick to the leg of Ari. Couple of hard rights. Schmidt drives a knee into the head of Aleksandros. There's a stomp to the leg as Schmidt tries to regain control of things here. Ari gets a hold of him. Elbows to the gut from Schmidt as the referee starts to count. A right, a chop, a kick, and a DDT to Ari Aleksandros. Schmidt looking pretty confident now. Now stretching the arm of the Greek hustler. Schmidt back up on his feet. Ari catches a stomp to the gut. Misses with the rolling elbow. Ari getting out of the way just a second too quick. Ari rolls him towards the barricades, takes himself back inside the ring, and lets Tom Kanamura keep on counting. Schmidt back standing up. Ari playing games over here. Oh, man! Shoulder right to the gut and out to the floor. He went a second time. Looks like Ari doesn't want to let him back in the ring. Schmidt makes his way back in, though. They lock it up. Up over the shoulder. Hung up off the top rope. And Ari's going to go there again off the middle rope. Doesn't nail the knee. A little too far away. A right, another, a left. Winds up the arm. Standing drop kick. Man, he's fast, too. Aleksandros gets a hold of both legs on Schmidt. Helps him out of the corner. And not in the nicest way possible either. A stomp to the back. Ari rounds him up. And here's the discus punch, and down goes Schmidt again. Aleksandros drives the knee into the arm of Schmidt. And look at this, a little bobbing and weaving, a little boxing stuff here. He definitely knows his stuff. Ari stands him up again, knocks him down a second time with another discus punch. Follows that up with a stomp to the gut and a rolling elbow. Nice he parlays the moves together nicely, doesn't he? All the way up on the top turnbuckle again. He's going to go there one more time. Big time leg drop. That's the one that got Karrion Kross. But this time Schmidt got all of it. And a third discus punch takes Schmidt down to the mat again. Aleksandros drives the knee into the head of Schmidt. Does it again for good measure, just in case he didn't nail the first one. A stomp to the head. Another. And a driving knee right into the side of the head of Schmidt. Man, the crowd's getting pretty lively for Ari Aleksandros here. The Greek hustler rounds up Schmidt. Gets him by the neck, takes him to the ropes. Here we go again. Oh, man. Hung up off the rope by his waist. Ouch. Ari drives a knee into the arm of Schmidt. AJ Hawk definitely looking more than a little bit worried. Now everybody's on the outside. Schmidt backing the... Oh, man. AJ Hawk backing the hell off. As Schmidt counters with a kick to Ari. They lock up. Ari pitches him towards the barricades. Oh, and here we go. There's that headstand headlock again. Schmidt losing ground here to Ari real quick. Ari Aleksandros taking Schmidt back to the ring. Wants to wrap this up, I think. Aleksandros again going there. This guy loves to fly, man, and it shows like Delta Airlines. Schmidt stands up. Chop across the top of the head. He just busted him open. His legs hanging off the bottom rope. He's all messed up. Ari sets it up. Oh, man. Tilt-a-whirl knee to the midsection. Aleksandros covers. 1, 2, 3. Well, now, 2 wins, 2 matches. Ari Aleksandros, the winner.
Here's the time. 5 minutes, 59 seconds. Your winner, Ari Aleksandros.
All right, well, there it is. The Greek Hustlers picking up a win here over Ty Schmidt, his second win in his second match, and that's probably a really good sign. Ari Aleksandros wowing the fans here with a great win over Ty Schmidt. Yeah, I guess he is pretty good. We really did get a better look at him this time. Wow, look at that beautiful tilt-the-world gutbuster right there. Man, he's amazing. All right, folks, we'll be back with more RWL Championship Wrestling right after the break. See you then. All right, fans and techs, coming up, Legends Division Tag Competition with the Blade Runner, Sting, and the Ultimate Warrior set to go up against Lou Albano's team of George the Animal Steele and Bulldog Brower.
Next Legends Tag Team match. One fall with a 15-minute time limit. First, at a combined weight of 562 pounds, the team of Sting and the Ultimate Warrior. Together, they are the Blade Runners.
Tex, there's no way this one's not going to be good. You take these two face-painted powerhouses, Sting and the Ultimate Warrior, the Blade Runners, and you pit them against these two unpredictable wild men, George the Animal Steele and Dick the Bulldog Brower, and you got a recipe for sparks in a ring. You ain't kidding, man. Oh, man, Stinger and the Ultimate Warrior. Well, Ultimate Warrior has kind of gotten over losing the Legends World title to Roddy Piper and focusing his attention on tag team competition with the Stinger. You think we'll ever see him in Legends Tag Team Competition, Tex? Well, never say never around here, but of course the Ultimate Warrior and Stinger, when you put them together, they also tend to win their matches a whole lot. Yeah, but this is something of a 3-on-2 handicap match. Yeah, you got Stinger and the Ultimate Warrior, and you got George the Animal Steele and Bulldog Brower, but you also got Captain Lou Albano at ringside, so anything can happen. Danny, with Albano at ringside, anything can happen, and it usually does. Excuse me a second, Daniel. Yeah, what? Fire! Ha 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 ha!
Their opponents, managed by Captain Lou Albano, at a combined weight of 594 pounds, George, the Animal, Steele, and Dick, the Bulldog Brower.
Captain Lou Albano is about the only guy I know who can keep Bulldog Brower and George the Animal Steele in line, second only to possibly classy Freddie Blassie. But these two, big, mean, just a little bit bent in the head, so you never know what you're going to get. With Bulldog Brower and George the Animal Steele come to town and partner up, Sting and the Ultimate Warrior, they're going to have to use all their skills to get past these two. Yeah, well, I can't think of two more capable people, Tex, can you? Probably not. Just the same, Sting and the Ultimate Warrior gonna have to stay focused, because the only time Captain Lou Albano doesn't cheat is when he's sleeping. Alright, it's gonna be the Stinger and the Animal initiating contact in this particular tag team matchup. As referee Walt Rothburn rings the bell, Animal charges. Warrior shoves him back. Wow, man. The Ultimate Warrior catches a kick to the midsection from George the Animal Steele. Just for the neck breaker, doesn't get it. Ultimate Warrior with a drop kick that barely phases the Animal. The Animal quickly countered again by the Ultimate Warrior. Another drop kick that drives George Steele against the ropes. The Ultimate Warrior being battled back here by George the Animal Steele. The Animal sets him up, suplex. George the Animal Steele with the Warrior down on the mat. Starts putting the boots to him. On the wrong side of town is the Ultimate Warrior too. Very close to the opposing team's corner. The Animal countered by the Ultimate Warrior with a knee right to the face. The Ultimate Warrior backing up a little step, and here comes the Stinger on the tag. George the Animal Steele takes him down with an elbow. Gathers Stinger up again, has him up, goes for the sidewalk slam, but Sting with the quick escape. The Stinger with a headlock punch on the Animal, turns him around. Hard whip into the corner, Stinger nails him with a clothesline. Here's a shoulder claw on George the Animal Steele, and on those thick trapezius muscles, Stinger's going to have to squeeze pretty damn hard. The Stinger in control of the Animal. Animal counters with a back body drop, follows that up with a stomp to the midsection. And now Stinger in trouble here, but too close to the ropes. Hold has to be broken up. Sting slams him down. Rounds the animal up again. Hard whip to the Blade Runner's corner. Oh, man, the animal counters with a kick and finds his way out. Grabs himself a handful of Stinger, whips him to the corner. Sting quickly out of the way, but catches a kick to the midsection from George the Animal Steele. Steele on a mission to get him back into that corner again, but Sting with a couple of elbows says, nope, I ain't going. Can't convince me. Stinger whipped to his own team's corner now by George the Animal Steele. And now counter whip to the other side of the ring. Stinger counters again, catches a cheap shot from Dick the Bulldog Brower, and Lou Albano has already introduced a steel chair into the mix. George the Animal Steele takes a ride to the other side of the ring, courtesy of Sting. Here's a tag to the Ultimate Warrior. Here comes a double team from the Blade Runners. Double axe handle finds the mark across the arm of the Animal. The Animal counters that clothesline, puts Stinger into his own team's corner. The Animal rounds him up. Stinger shoves him away, delivers a couple of shots, backs the Warrior up. Ultimate Warrior with a kick to the midsection of the Animal, and a clothesline quickly takes him down. The Ultimate Warrior gets a hold of George the Animal Steele, and once more into the corner. There's another clothesline to the Animal, and he goes right down. Stinger watching as the Ultimate Warrior whips the Animal into the referee and the corner. Getting two for the price of one. There goes Walt Rothburn. Buenos noches. The Animal whip to the opposing team's corner as the referee regains consciousness. Stinger comes in on the tag. Not a minute too soon for the ref to come back. Double team. Back body drop for George the Animal Steele. A Sting takes over for his side. Animal back up on his feet. Gets a hold of the Stinger by the trunk. Snap suplex for the Stinger. George the Animal Steele imagines he's got some kind of fans here. I don't know. It's a crazy world. George the Animal Steele with a clothesline to the Stinger. Tags him with a second one. Rebounds off the rope. A beautiful kick. Yes, it's pretty agile for a guy as big as George the Animal Steele. Here's an arm drag from the Stinger. Stinger with a clubbing overhand right to George the Animal Steele as he beats it out of town. And here comes the one-man riot squad, Dick the Bulldog Brower and the Ultimate Warrior. Double axe handle to the Warrior, takes him down to the mat. Tried for the headbutt, but Brower didn't get it. Got a knee instead. Ultimate Warrior tags him with a clothesline in the corner. Warrior covers. One. Just a one, and just barely a one at that. George the Animal Steele watching as his partner faces off with the Ultimate Warrior. Flying shoulder tackle. And down went Dick the Bulldog Brower. Brower winds him up. Another shoulder tackle in retaliation. And now into a blatant choke right in front of the referee. He's got a count of 5. It's all right. Doesn't matter. Ultimate Warrior gets a hold of Bulldog Brower, has him by the scruff of the neck, takes him to the Blade Runner's corner, introduces him to the turnbuckle face first, and here comes the Stinger on the tag. Here comes another double team, double axe handle off the middle rope to the arm of Bulldog Brower as Stinger takes over. He's got Brower up, big time atomic drop and a big old hoot from the Stinger. Sting with an overhand right, and Albano getting into it with Stinger. The distraction works a treat as Brower gets a hold of him. Oh man, what a gruesome suplex from Dick the Bulldog Brower. A clothesline takes Brower down, followed up by a second one from the Stinger. A third one. Brower back up on his feet, but for how long? He's in the wrong team's corner. He counters and finds his way out. Gets a hold of the Stinger. Whips him to his team's corner. The Stinger finds his way out of the corner and counter whips Brower into the referee and into another corner. Man, we got 2 more corners left, Walt. Brower's down. Stinger rounds him up. The referee coming back to his senses. Bulldog Brower gets a hold of the Stinger. Catches a shot to the midsection from Sting. Sting takes him down. Here we go. It's Scorpion Deathlock time. And Bulldog Brower in big trouble. George the Animal Steele better come to the rescue or something's real bad's about to happen. That's it. Bulldog Brower has tapped out. This match is over, and the Blade Runners have picked up a win over Steele and Brower by submission.
Here's the time. 6 minutes, 6 seconds. And your winners, the Blade Runners.
We both knew Texas was going to be a pretty intense ride, and it definitely was, but the Ultimate Warrior and Sting wind up getting the Duke, getting their hands raised, picking up the win over George the Animal Steele and Dick the Bulldog Brower. And, well, they certainly had to earn it. And earn it they did. We have seen George the Animal Steele and Dick the Bulldog Brower decimate many an opponent. But Sting and the Ultimate Warrior, they're a different kind of breed, man. You bet they are. Stinger and the Ultimate Warrior picking up the win over Brower and Steele in what was a pretty exciting Legends tag match. Coming up, ladies division competition, our only ladies match on the card. Stick around, that's coming right up. Dano, if you don't mind, it's time for me to make a shameless plug. Hey, you're the general manager, go right ahead. All right, well, folks, coming up this Saturday on RWL Snarl, there is going to be a 6-woman tag team match involving the ladies of the Red Star Confederation. That'll be Colonel Ninotchka, Dos Vidania, and Colonel Tanya, set up to face Patriotic Pam Parsons, Brooklyn Von Brown, and of course my sweetie Liberty Belle Danielle Heathcote. But tonight, here on Championship Wrestling, a singles preview, the shape of things to come, if you will, as Patriotic Pam Parsons, America's sweetheart, gets set to lock it up with former Glow alum and current Red Star Confederation member, Colonel Ninotchka.
This next ladies division match is one fall with a 10-minute time limit. First, from Huntington Beach, California, she's America's sweetheart, Patriotic Pam Parsons.
The Thunderer March by John Philip Sousa, heralding the arrival of Patriotic Pam Parsons, 3P, America's sweetheart from Huntington Beach, California. One of the original All-American girls, one of the 3 All-American girls that'll be joining Brooklyn Von Brown and Liberty Belle Danielle Heathcote Saturday night at Snarl, facing the Red Star Confederation ladies, including Colonel Ninotchka. This singles matchup, like you said, that's just kind of a preview of things to come. It is, Danny, another brainchild from our boy Myron Schimmelman, who took a look at current events in the newspapers between President Trump and President Putin and thought this might be a brilliant idea. Well, he is something of a genius, ain't he? Well, I don't know about you, Tex. You've got Liberty Belle Danielle. But every time I look at Patriotic Pam Parsons, it makes me just want to stand up and salute. You know what I mean? Let's just leave that right there, shall we, Danny?
Her opponent from St. Petersburg, Russia, in the former Soviet Union. Here's Colonel Ninotchka.
A lot of mystery and questions swirling around the Red Star Confederation ladies, Tex. Are they or are they not the significant others of the Russian Bear Ivan Koloff, Nikita Koloff, and Nikolai Volkov? I personally don't think so. I just think they all work together because I don't think any of them has any fun. You know communists don't have any fun, Danny. Come on now. But nonetheless, Colonel Ninotchka, the former Glow alum, reteamed with her former tag team partner from Glow, Colonel Tanya. And that's with them and Dos Vidania together, that's going to be a real difficult challenge for Brooklyn Von Brown, Patriotic Pam Parsons, and Liberty Belle Danielle. Although the 3 American ladies will tell you no, it's not going to be a challenge at all, but we're just going to have to wait and see on Saturday night. A lot of fans are looking at this match, this singles match, like the canary in the coal mine as far as Saturday night is concerned. Whoever wins here might be a preview of what happens on Saturday night. Oh, Danny, there are no guarantees in this world, my man. Just have to wait and see how it all plays out. Well, Danny, no matter what happens, we are going to get ourselves a really good preview of what's coming up in that 6-woman tag on Saturday night as Wolf Rothburn rings the bell. The ladies come center ring. A forearm from Ninotchka, a counter kick from Patriotic Pam Parsons, a running spear from Parsons takes Ninotchka down to the mat. Ninotchka rounded up by Parsons. Hard whip to the far left corner. Ninotchka quickly counters. Pam Parsons counters her, takes her down to the mat. Turns her over into a single leg crab awfully close to the ropes. Referee calling for the break, but Ninotchka shoving Pam Parsons away. Ninotchka rounds Parsons up. Hard whip to the ropes. Here she comes. Nicely executed Hurricane Rana. You know, Ninotchka's the most experienced of the 3 Russian gals. She's going to be the toughest one to beat in that 6-woman tag. Pam Parsons whips Ninotchka to the corner. Misses with the running knees. Ninotchka goes behind into a Russian leg sweep. Durr. Excuse me. Anyway, Ninotchka rounds up Pam Parsons. Snap mirror. And into a surfboard stretch. The knee driving into the back. The arms and shoulders being stretched. That is a treacherous move right there. Colonel Ninotchka, an old hand at these kind of moves too. Oh man, Pam Parsons can't seem to get herself out. She is just stretched. Oh, Colonel Ninotchka with the advantage right now, but here's a kick to the midsection from Pam Parsons. Parsons with a clothesline takes Ninotchka down to the mat. Follows that up with a stomp to the back. Ninotchka quickly takes her down to the mat. The Colonel catches an arm drag from Pam Parsons. Parsons countered by Ninotchka. Beautiful spin kick. Down goes Pam Parsons. Colonel Ninotchka beating her head against the mat. That was just mean. Yeah, that'll give you a headache. Colonel Ninotchka goes to work stretching the arm of Patriotic Pam Parsons. 3P starting to lose the advantage and momentum here from the Colonel. Colonel Ninotchka with a stomp. And a little playing up to the fans. A lot of boos in that crowd, man. Colonel Ninotchka now going into a stumper. She just loves to stretch her opponents, doesn't she? Moving that leg at an impossible angle, an angle that Mother Nature never intended. Pam Parsons shoves her down, quickly gets back up on her feet. Clothesline takes Ninotchka down to the mat. A stomp to the chest. Colonel Ninotchka wound up. The arm caught by Patriotic Pam Parsons, and she is just stretching it. Colonel Ninotchka having her problems trying to get loose here. Parsons has that move locked in real good. Ninotchka's trying to turn it around. Hard shot to the midsection, backs off Pam Parsons. Colonel Ninotchka has her up, but Pam Parsons counters quick with a shot to the back. Turns Ninotchka around, gets both arms, and oh man, look at this! Whoa! What a pin! 1, 2. Damn close to a near fall. Colonel Ninotchka damn near stole the match right there. A kick from Ninotchka. He slammed Parsons' head down to the canvas. Colonel Ninotchka with a head scissors on Pam Parsons. Squeezing the head, squeezing the neck, possibly depriving the poor lady of breath. The referee checking things out. Ninotchka releases the hold. Pam Parsons is motionless. That ain't a good sign. Parsons shoves her down to the canvas. She goes, here, look, guys, I'm okay. Ninotchka getting back to her feet. Pam Parsons with a clothesline. Down goes Ninotchka. Here she goes a second time. And a beautiful heel kick from Patriotic Pam Parsons. 3P rounds up the Colonel. Has her up over the shoulders. Where's she going to take her? Don't miss out by delay, Pam. You're taking too long. There's Colonel Ninotchka with elbows to the side of the head of Pam Parsons. She thought about it too damn long. Ninotchka whips Parsons to the ropes. Dropkick doesn't quite find the mark. Ninotchka with a crossbody, and look at this, really pressing down to hold her down, but only a 1 count. Colonel Ninotchka with another head scissors on Pam Parsons, and she is flailing. Ninotchka squeezing as tight as she can, but Parsons finds her way out that time. Oh man, a forearm. Another forearm from Parsons. Ninotchka whipped to the rope. The drop kick don't find the mark. There's a kick from Ninotchka to Parsons. Parsons caught in a side suplex by Colonel Ninotchka, who is starting to wear down just a little bit. Well, this match has been pretty intense. Ninotchka rounds up Parsons. Belly-to-belly suplex. And down goes Patriotic Pam. Ninotchka egging her on to stand on up so she can knock her down again. Colonel Ninotchka stalking Patriotic Pam Parsons. Gets a hold of her. Sets it up. Top handle suplex. Wow. Patriotic Pam Parsons being escorted towards center as Ninotchka covers and hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3, and I guess that suplex did the trick. Colonel Ninotchka picking up the win here over Pam Parsons by pinfall.
The time was 5 minutes, 28 seconds, and your winner, Colonel Ninotchka.
Well, I don't know if it's a red flag or not, pun intended, but Colonel Ninotchka picking up this win, and could it be a bad omen for the All-American girls at Snarl Saturday night? I don't know. We'll just have to find out like you said. But that notwithstanding, Colonel Ninotchka picking up the win over Pam Parsons here, and the Russians will go into that match on Saturday night with this on their minds. I don't know if it's a red flag or a bad omen, really. It's a single match. Just a sign of what might happen. After all, when you put together Pam Parsons, Brooklyn Von Brown, and Liberty Bell Danielle Heathcote, you got something special. And I don't know if the ladies of the Red Star Confederation are going to be quite ready for that. Yeah, like you said, we'll just have to wait till Snarl. All right, folks, coming up next, tag team competition, and this is going to be a really good one. The Midnight Express up next.
Hi fans, Aria Mitchell, Rage Ring announcer here. Well, all summer long, RWL has brought the excitement with this year's Sweet Revenge Summer Tour. But all good things must come to an end, and some endings are just new beginnings. Join us Monday, September 1st, as we begin the road towards December's year-ending Memphis Million with RWL Labor Day Slamathon. That's Monday, Labor Day, September 1st. We'd love to see you there.
All right, Danny, here comes a Legends Division tag team match of some significance as Sweet Stan Lane and Beautiful Bobby Eaton, the Midnight Express, backed by James E. Cornette, face Mr. USA Tony Atlas and the Soul Man Rocky Johnson, the Soul Patrol.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next Legends Division tag match, one fall with a 15-minute time limit. First, along with manager James E. Cornette, at a combined weight of 512 pounds, Sweet Stan Lane and Beautiful Bobby Eaton, the Midnight Express.
You know, Tex, there have been an awful lot of tag team partners over the years that have built themselves as the Midnight Express, but Jim Cornette, with a soft spot in his heart for Stan Lane and Bobby Eaton, and they are, to most people, the definitive version of the Midnight Express. Not entirely true, Danny. You're forgetting Dennis Condrey, who was one of the original members of the Midnight Express. But it is true, Jim Cornette has done very well for himself with Stan Lane and Bobby Eaton. Alright, so let's not call him the definitive version. Let's say the one most recognized by most fans. Ah, that's fair enough. But Jim Cornette has these boys primed for their match with the Soul Patrol, Tony Atlas and Rocky Johnson, and that is going to be a great classic Legends Division matchup.
Their opponents, at a combined weight of 540 pounds, from Washington, D.C., the Soul Man Rocky Johnson, and from Roanoke, Virginia, Mr. USA, Tony Atlas, the Soul Patrol.
It is true, we got ourselves, as Don Hickson would say, a great preponderance of great tag team stars in the Legends Tag Team Division, and Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas are a shining example of that. You know, Tex, we throw the word match around an awful lot, but contextually, this is a good, solid match. Both these teams, both very experienced, both probably approximately the same size and weight, same level of skill. Bound to be a solid matchup. A true match in every sense of the word, Danny. Alright, well, it's going to be Sweet Stan Lane and Mr. USA Tony Atlas starting things off in this particular matchup. As referee Willie Johnson rings the bell, and here we go. They lock it up, collar and elbow. Stan Lane catches a couple of elbows from Mr. USA Tony Atlas. Backs him off pretty good. Atlas charges, misses with the clothesline, runs right into a German suplex from Stan Lane. Lane catches the shot to the gut from Tony Atlas. Atlas gets a hold of the trunks. Nice vertical suplex from Tony Atlas. Atlas moves in on Stan Lane. Lane countering with some elbows, much to the delight of Jim Cornette. Lane locks up Atlas, gouges the face, puts Atlas in the far right corner. And now Lane, open fire with elbows to the side of the head. And here comes Beautiful Bobby Eaton on the tag. Mr. USA. Caught in a Hurricane Rana from Bobby Eaton. Eaton winds up the arm. Whoa, and snaps it hard. Eaton whips Atlas back into the corner again, a chop across the chest. And now, getting the arm yanked across the top rope by Beautiful Bobby Eaton. Eaton goes right back in again, does it again. Tony Atlas can't seem to get himself out of that corner. Tony Atlas catches a kick to the gut. Up to the middle rope. And a nice roll pin here. One, but just a one. With Rocky Johnson breaking things up, Stan Lane debating whether or not he's going to go after Rocky Johnson, as Bobby Eaton delivers a couple of stomps to Mr. USA. Tony Atlas rounded up, counters into a dragon screw, takes Eaton down to the mat, steps out. Here comes Rocky Johnson on the tag. Business about to pick up here with the Soul Man. An attempt at that Hurricane Rana did not connect. There's a knee to the head from Rocky Johnson. Eaton gets back to his feet. Here comes Tony Atlas again. The team perhaps playing mind games with the Midnight Express, but catches the Hurricane Rana from Bobby Eaton as he steps out. Here comes Stan Lane. Tony Atlas stands himself right back on up. Goes in after the sweet Stan Lane. Whips him to the ropes. Ducks under. Gets a hold of him from behind. German suplex from Tony Atlas, who steps out and tags in Rocky Johnson again. The team working real fast. Quick tags here. Stan Lane. Oh, man, with a hard knee to the midsection and another to the back of the Soul Man, Rocky Johnson. A stomp to the shoulder. Stan Lane rounds him up again. Knee to the head. Rocky Johnson goes down as Stan Lane checks out and Bobby Eaton checks in. Rocky Johnson on the outside. Here comes, oh, man! Bobby Eaton just about cracked his head into the barricade. Rocky Johnson goes into a heel hook stretch on the outside as referee Willie Johnson initiates the count. Bobby Eaton really cracked his head when he tried that high-risk maneuver. That really did not work out, Danny. Eaton shoves him away. Bobby Eaton rolls Rocky Johnson back inside the ring. And here he comes in hot pursuit. But here comes Mr. USA, Tony Atlas on the tag. Atlas catches the kick from Eaton. Another. Counters the right, gets a hold on Bobby Eaton. Beautifully executed belly-to-belly suplex from Tony Atlas. Atlas rounds up Bobby Eaton, gets a hold of him. And here we go again, a second belly-to-belly suplex from Tony Atlas. Atlas about ready to go air here. Here we go, diving elbow right across the chest of Bobby Eaton. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg, one, but just a one. Bobby Eaton getting that left shoulder up real quick. Tony Atlas with a stomp to the arm of beautiful Bobby Eaton. And Atlas getting ready to go air a second time and succeeds in nailing a second elbow and a second pin attempt. One. But again, just a one. Man, Bobby Eaton definitely fired up here. Tony Atlas countered with a kick to the midsection by Eaton. Eaton gets a hold of him, goes behind. German suplex on Tony Atlas. Bobby Eaton apparently very resilient as he takes himself out of the equation and brings in sweet Stan Lane. Tony Atlas locks up with Lane, flips him to the corner. Big time splash from Mr. USA. Stan Lane catches a butt bump to the back. As Tony Atlas steps out to the outside, so does sweet Stan Lane. Stan Lane countered by Tony Atlas. Atlas gets a hold of him, slams him down to the floor on the outside, takes himself back inside. Jim Cornette starting to pace around a little bit. Bobby Eaton brought back into the ring by Tony Atlas the hard way as he decides to leave and turn it over to Rocky Johnson. With Bobby Eaton stunned and Stan Lane back in the ring. Whoa! Big time takedown from Soul Man Rocky Johnson. Stan Lane rounded up into a bear hug. Here's a possible submission. Rocky Johnson using all his muscles to try and squeeze the breath out of sweet Stan Lane, but it is no good. He is countering and getting himself out of that bear hug. Bobby Eaton still on Dream Street. Look at this running bulldog from sweet Stan Lane. Bobby Eaton finally snaps out of it and gets himself out of there. A hard right from Stan Lane to Rocky Johnson. Rocky Johnson counters with a kick to the head. Mr. USA watching his partner work here. There's a stomp to the shoulder as Rocky Johnson takes himself to his corner. Decides not to tag. Look at this. Goes after Stan Lane again. Elbows to the midsection of Stan Lane. Disengages him from the hold. Rocky Johnson fails to connect with his move. Stan Lane locks up Rocky Johnson. Has him. Oh, man. Inverted atomic drop into the score. A knee right to the head. Rocky Johnson steps out. Gets a hold of Bobby Eaton. Sets him up for a painful neckbreaker. Johnson making his way back inside. Stan Lane misses the chop, but whoa, evades the beautiful running bulldog. Nicely done by sweet Stan Lane. A shoulder tackle takes Rocky Johnson down. Johnson. Whoa, man, look at this. Oh, big time atomic drop. That's going to wreck your tailbone. Rocky Johnson tags in Tony Atlas. Stan Lane gets a hold of Atlas, whips him to the ropes. Beautiful hip toss. He saw that one coming a mile away. Beautifully done by sweet Stan Lane. Atlas counters with a shot and a kick. gets a hold of him, has him all the way up in a big-time powerbomb. And look at this, over the shoulders and into a Samoan drop. Nice combo from Tony Atlas, and here's a cover. 1. But Bobby Eaton right there to break up the pin. Tony Atlas with another stomp to the arm of Stan Lane. He steps out. In comes the Soul Man, Rocky Johnson, again. And here comes Bobby Eaton again. Johnson misses with that move again, catches a stomp to the head, and another from Bobby Eaton. A clubbing right from Eaton. Rocky Johnson rounded up. Vertical suplex from Bobby Eaton. Soul Man Rocky Johnson catches an arm snap and a stomp to the back. Back on his feet, a quick jab to Eaton. Eaton whipped to the ropes by Johnson. Here's a duck under. The Soul Man with a big-time spine buster. Bobby Eaton rolls out to the floor as Mr. USA is tagged in again. Eaton back to a standing position here. Pacing around the ring, taking his time getting back in there. Tony Atlas just right there waiting for him. Gets a hold of him, catches a kick to the midsection. And look at this. Splash water with a pin. 1, 2, but only a 2. Tony Atlas getting the right shoulder up. Bobby Eaton rounds up Tony Atlas. Atlas counters with a jawjacker. A left gets a hold of Eaton again. Side suplex from Tony Atlas. Bobby Eaton's taking all kinds of beatings here. And here comes the Soul Man Rocky Johnson one more time. Eaton catches a running dropkick from Johnson. Man, Jim Cornette looks a little bit worried as Rocky Johnson snaps on a heel hook stretch on beautiful Bobby Eaton. Wow. Rocky Johnson turns him over. Gets a hold of him. Look at this right here. What are we going to see? Wheelbarrow spinebuster face first. Rocky Johnson takes himself topside. He's waiting. Bobby Eaton standing up. Stan Lane standing up on the outside. Double axe handle to the head of Bobby Eaton as Stan Lane makes it back to his corner just in time to catch the tag. And here comes Mr. USA, Tony Atlas. Man, Stan Lane fails to connect with that move. Tony Atlas gets a hold of him, has him up. One arm slammed him. And here's a cover with a hook of the leg. 1, 2. Close but no cigar. Mr. USA. Can't believe it. He steps back, turns it back over to Rocky Johnson. Stan Lane, slow getting to the standing position here. Counters with an elbow. A right spins Rocky Johnson around into a sleeper hold. But Tony Atlas right there to break up the submission. Eaton watching as Stan Lane catches a shot to the midsection from Mr. USA. Turns his attention back to Rocky Johnson. Drives a knee into Johnson's arm. Stan Lane trying to regain the momentum. Oh, man, double scrape of the boots to this. Oh, man, the sides of the boots right across the face of Rocky Johnson. Stan Lane, a clothesline. And he is waiting for Rocky Johnson to stand. He's going to deliver something big. Here it goes. He's got a hold of him. He's got him up. Oh, man. Hook pile driver. Lane covers. But no, just one. Tony Atlas right there to break things up. Stan Lane gets a hold of him again. He's going to go for it one more time. No, guess not. Rocky Johnson says, no, you're not doing that to me again. Slams him down with a spinebuster. Lane rounded up by Rocky Johnson. Johnson catches some elbows to the midsection from Stan Lane. Lane locks up Johnson. Johnson counters with a kick, gets a hold of Stan Lane again. Escorts him to the corner, hit first into the turnbuckle. Tags in Mr. USA, Tony Atlas. And here comes the double team as Lane is whipped to the ropes, catches a double back body drop. Tony Atlas taking over for his team. Stan Lane rolls out to the floor. Tony Atlas takes himself all the way up to the top turnbuckle. Seen Bobby Eaton coming. Changed his mind on the high risker. Brings in Eaton the hard way instead. Nails him with a right to the head. Has him up. Whoa. Has him way back, clubbing blow to the chest. And whoa, a clothesline that takes down Stan Lane too. Tony Atlas taking out both members of the Midnight Express here. And another one-arm slam from Mr. USA. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2. Oh, Stan Lane Shut up. Got that left shoulder up again. Tony Atlas. One more time to the top turnbuckle. Here he goes. Elbow does not connect. And Lane getting the hell out of the way just in time. Atlas pitched up against the ropes by Sweet Stan Lane. Lane turns him around, starts choking him with the top rope. Jim Cornette loving what he sees. Mr. USA gets caught up again by Stan Lane. Oh, man. Knee to the gut. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg again. 1, 2, but only a 2 as Jim Cornette attempts to introduce a chair into the ring. Didn't work out somehow. Tony Atlas and Stan Lane on the outside. Lane misses with the clothesline. Tony Atlas gets him from behind, has him up, slams him down. Right across the back, right across the floor. Ow. Mats or not, I'm sorry, that hurts. Tony Atlas with a stomp to the head of Stan Lane. Atlas rolls him back inside the ring. Takes himself, oh man, goes right after Bobby Eaton too. Vertical suplex for him. Oh, Tony Atlas, a one-man machine right here. He steps towards the corner, tags in Rocky Johnson with 2 minutes left to go. Stan Lane gathered up by the Soul Man. Hard right spins him around. Johnson with a power bomb. Jim Cornette already getting into it with referee Willie Johnson. Rocky Johnson's got the pin. He's had the pin. He just won this match twice with 2-3 counts. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. There was a basic count of 12 here, but Atlas and Johnson defeat the Midnight Express by pinfall.
Here's the time. 13 minutes, 28 seconds. Your winners, Tony Atlas and Rocky Johnson.
The Soul Patrol, Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas, using their slight strength advantage and taking it as far as it would go against the Midnight Express, and they sure picked up a great win here over Stan Lane and Bobby Eaton. That's very true. That was a beautiful matchup. And yeah, the Midnight Express sure gave them one for it, but Atlas and Johnson wound up getting the 3-count pinfall on this one. All right, folks, our main event featuring Mad Dog Mark McKay just as soon as we come back. All right, fans, real quick before the main event, you may be asking yourself, is there life after Sweet Revenge? There most certainly will be. We'll be unveiling this fall 2 new Ladies Junior Championships. There you see the Ladies Northern Championship. Isn't that pretty? And right behind it is the Ladies Southern Championship. And speaking of ladies, we've got a long line of ladies interested in competing in the 2 tournaments that will be held this fall for those 2 championships. Those will be announced in September. Stay tuned for more details. Alright, so Tex, how's this for a main event? We seen him debut the other night at RWL Rage, but Karrion Kross, along with Scarlett Bordeaux, back tonight to face Mad Dog Mark McKay, accompanied by Miss More Sex. This is gonna get messy, Jesse.
It's time for tonight's main event. One fall with a 10-minute time limit. First, accompanied by Miss Scarlett Bordeaux from Las Vegas, Nevada, weighing 265 pounds. Here is Karrion Kross.
Mr. Karrion Kross has not had himself a good couple of weeks. Suddenly finding himself out of WWE, suddenly finding himself in RWL, and losing his debut match to Ari Aleksandros, the Greek Hustler. Needless to say, Mr. Karrion Kross is not in the best of moods, and that's a bad mood that not even someone like Scarlett Bordeaux can take away. I don't know. I think she could probably take it away. That's neither here nor there. In any case, Karrion Kross and his valet. These valets, man. Scarlett Bordeaux, Miss More Sex. I don't remember ever seeing this level of dedication, short of Macho Man Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth back in the day. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's kind of disturbing. I mean, the level of slavish devotion that you're seeing from both these ladies, it's all I know is I wish I could find somebody that looks at me like that. Yeah, I guess I can understand that. Me and Danielle, we get along just great, and she don't have to do none of that stuff for me. Now wait a second, hold it. Let's say you wasn't retired. Let's say you were still active, and you had Danielle as a valet. Would you let her do that kind of stuff? Oh, no, absolutely not. She doesn't have to do any of that for me, man. I mean, wow, we have got ourselves an unusual main event here. Yeah, that ain't just the principles, Danny. Both of these men have a valet at ringside who has proven they will go the extra mile, especially if it means their fellow winning the match. Oh man, I'm expecting this one to get a little bit out of hand. So, who do you think's gonna win, Tex? Oh man, if I knew that, I'd make money telling fortunes.
His opponent, accompanied by Miss Morse X from Ithaca, New York, weighing 205 pounds, Mad Dog Mark McKay.
Here's a fella's made a serious impact within the last 9 months, Mad Dog Mark McKay, accompanied by the mysterious Miss Morse X. And there's definitely a different vibe here tonight, Danny boy. Miss Morse X, perhaps seeming like she's got some misgivings about her fellow Mad Dog Mark McKay stepping into that ring with somebody like Karrion Kross, but Mad Dog Mark McKay don't seem to mind. I mean, look at this. Emotions, unspoken but definitely relayed between these two. It's like they got a psychic link or something. Yeah, well, you know, when you've been with somebody a long time, you know how it is, you can finish each other's sentences. Well, that is valid. Mad Dog Mark McKay, however, has made... Look at it. Oh, ain't that cute? Huh. Okay. But definitely there's a different vibe with Miss Morse X and Mad Dog. Oh man, are you kidding me? I swear to God, I think they're just showing off. Just to make Scarlett Bordeaux and Karrion Kross mad. Unbelievable. Mad Dog Mark McKay certainly has made himself quite an impact. He had a title match recently. He didn't win it, but he had a title match, which means there will be more down the line, especially if he keeps winning all his matches like he has been. Yeah, that's true. He's been kicking ass. It's absolutely fact. Yeah, Danny, I suppose those two gentlemen are extremely lucky to have someone who looks at them that way. Karrion Kross in a mood here. Referee Tom Canamora rings the bell, and here we go. McKay opens up with a couple of rights and a drop kick to the knee of Karrion Kross. Kross on the canvas here. Oh man, look at this. McKay with a double leg snap, followed up with a stomp right to the face of Karrion Kross. McKay turns him over. Machine gun knuckles to the side of the temple. Down goes Kross. Scarlett Bordeaux. She can't believe what's going on. Oh man, a knee to the head from Mad Dog Mark McKay. McKay gets a hold of Karrion Kross, delivers the kick to the midsection, tries for the DDT but doesn't get it, catches a clothesline instead from Karrion Kross. And I do believe Scarlett Bordeaux looks a little bit happier now. Whip to the ropes, an elbow to McKay, and down he goes. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. One, but just a one. So says Tom Canamora. Karrion Kross gathers him up. DDT, he got it that time. Oh man, McKay caught all of it too. Karrion Kross gets a hold of McKay, pitches him up against the ropes. Over the top rope and to the ground goes Karrion Kross. McKay gonna go right out after him. Oh man, catches the jumping neck breaker from Karrion Kross. Kross gouging the face of Mad Dog Mark McKay on the outside as Tom Canamora counts. A headbutt between the shoulder blades. McKay quick to counter him, get back up on his feet. Moves in, catches a couple of shots. Karrion Kross grabs the... Oh man, what a brain buster that was. Oh man, and on the floor too. Series of hard right hands to the head of Mad Dog Mark McKay. Both these guys are already busted open and bleeding less than 2 minutes into the match. If that gives you any indication of the intensity here. McKay rolled back into the ring, quickly getting himself back up. Here comes Karrion Kross, taken down with a clothesline by McKay. McKay whips into the ropes, drives a kitchen sink knee into his gut. McKay moves in, clubbing, overhand right, gets a hold of Karrion Kross. There's a kendo stick. Scarlett Bordeaux, in desperation, was going to hand him a kendo stick. Tom Canamora getting that thing out of here. Kross on the mat. McKay putting the boots to him. Mad Dog Mark McKay with a choke. Yeah, well, this was not going to be a polite match. This was not the Pillsbury Bake Off. This is pro wrestling. All right. All the way up and all the way down. Big time crossbody splash, covers and hooks the leg here. 1, 2. But no, Karrion Kross getting the right shoulder up. McKay a little bit frustrated, thought he had it there. McKay rounds up Karrion Kross. Collar and elbow, kick to the midsection, sets it up, neck breaker. Oh, man. Karrion Kross rolls out to the floor. Over the top rope. Oh, high-risk maneuver that didn't pay off for Mad Dog Mark McKay. Winds up catching a stomp to the midsection. Karrion Kross. What the hell are we going to see here? Oh, man. With the arms trapped, Karrion Kross nailed him with a couple of hard shots to the back of the head. Gets McKay back inside the ring. Here comes Karrion Kross right after him. Scarlet Bordeaux is on rabbit. Kross whipped to the ropes. McKay ducks under. Ducks under again. Here comes Kross, elbow to the face, and down he goes. Driving knee into the head of Karrion Kross. Mad Dog Mark McKay gonna try for that cross body splash one more time. Here he goes, and boom, he nails it. There's the cover. There's the hook of the leg. 1, 2, 3. Well, now, Mad Dog Mark McKay picking up an impressive win.
The time was 4 minutes, 54 seconds, and your winner, Mad Dog Mark McKay.
And while we've been watching the replay, things got a little bit heated between Scarlet Bordeaux and Miss Morse X. And, well, now, a little post-match brawl after the match, and they weren't even participating. Look at this, Morse X getting that kendo stick, brings it back inside the ring. Scarlet Bordeaux impaled on the kendo stick. Ow! Miss Morse X, demonstrating that she is not to be messed around with. Scarlet Bordeaux is laid out. Unbelievable. Hey, look, Scarlet Bordeaux started. All right, folks, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of RWL Championship Wrestling. We thank you, as always, for being with us. Be sure to join us Saturday night, the 23rd, for Tex Lynch and RWL Snarl. For everybody here at RWL, I'm Chicago Danny Awesome, thanking you for your time, this time, until next time. We'll see you then, folks. Good night. And don't forget Snarl, Saturday night on the 23rd. Good night, folks.